Answer for this question has to be A. A is the answer. Let me explain you now why answer is A. First thing you need to understand, for this question, it is given to you that n is given, and q is given. So we have these two values, and we need to calculate average drift velocity of charge carriers. So we need to calculate v. So we can make v the subject. So you can rearrange this one, and we can write down v is equal to I over nqa. So this is how you can rearrange. But n and q, they are given to us, so we can rearrange again. We can simply write down I over a times we have 1 over nq, 1 over nq. But 1 over nq is given to us, means nq is given to us. Simply, if we have value of I over a, we can calculate average drift velocity. So that's the reason answer for this question is A. Current per unit of cross-sectional area. Current per unit cross-sectional area, if we have, we can calculate average velocity because we have n and we have q. So this is how you can answer this question. So A is the answer for this one. Rest of options, they are not possible answers. Let me rewrite here for you. So this is telling you this is I over A. This one, please. This is I over A. So that's the reason answer is A. Let's move on to next one. Look at this question, please. First of all, do by yourself. Take some time, try to answer first of all by yourself. Then I will explain. In this case, we have two wires. They are made of the same material. So this is one thing you need to understand. They are made of the same material. This is made of copper, and the thick wire, this is also made of copper. So it means number density is the same. What else is the same? So first thing you can say, in this case, N is the same because they are made of the same material. So this is hint for you. So simply you can say N is the same for these two wires. And Q is also the same because this is elementary charge. So Q is also same. So simply we can write down here Q is also same. What else is same? If you look at these two wires, they are connected in series. As they are connected in series, it also means that current is the same. So I is also same. So current is also same. Now current is also same in this case. So can we use transport equation and we can find out what question is asking us. Now let's try to use transport equation. So simply we can say I, this is equal to nqva. I is equal to nqva. nqva. In this case, what is the same? We have said n is the same. So n is the same. Q is the same for these two wires, and I is also the same. So these quantities we can bring on one side. We can say I over nq. So these quantities are constant, and this one is equal to va. So as these quantities, they are constant, it means this ratio is also constant. So we can simply say this is constant. So simply you can say this one is constant. It simply means that VA for these two wires, this is constant. So VA is constant for these two wires. Now from here we can see if A is bigger, so the V has to be smaller. A bigger means that wire is thick. If the wire is thick, it means speed of electrons is slower. So we can say speed of electrons is slower. We can also rewrite this one, and we can understand if the wire is thin, how about V? If the wire is thin, it simply means that this cross-sectional area is smaller, so the V has to be greater. V greater means that speed is faster. So the average drift velocity is greater. So this is telling you this is thin. So you can see this question is asking you what is significantly less in the thick wire, and that is the average drift velocity. This one is lower. So the answer for this one is B. The drift speed of electrons is less in thick wire. So the answer for this question has to be B. This one is the answer, please. Look at this one. If you have any questions, if any point is not clear, you want me to explain again, please ask me. Otherwise, take notes and you can simply take screenshot of this one and you can save that. I hope this is clear to you. So I will go to next one now. Let's move on to next one. Very nice question, and please try this one first of all by yourself. Take 2 minutes, try to answer this one, then I will show you the answer and also I will explain. You have 2 minutes. First of all, try by yourself. Try by yourself. It doesn't matter your answer is wrong or right. At least you need to understand your weakness, your misunderstanding, and then you can compare your answer with my answer and you can improve your understanding. If you just sit and watch class like a movie, you will not get any benefit. 1 minute more, then I will explain. Still you have time, you can try. If you have figured out the answer, you can speak out. For this question, you have to use this formula. You have to use R is equal to rho L by A, not transport equation. This is just for resistance. Okay, so let me show you the answer and then I will explain. Answer for this question is B. If your answer was B, that's wonderful. It means you have understanding of this type of problems. If answer is not B, listen my explanation now. Let me explain to you why answer is B. First thing you need to understand, it is given to you original wire. So we can say for original wire, resistance of that one is given, that is equal to R, and this is equal to rho, and L for this one is given small l, so you can replace small l here, and diameter of this one is given is d. So area, it means this is pi by 4, cross sectional area pi by 4 d square. So this is the value of R. R is given to you. It was given the wire has resistance capital R. Now let's go to replacement wire. So I will be writing here for replacement wire. Again you have to use the same formula, capital R, this is equal to rho L by A. Now we need to calculate resistance of new wire. So you can say this is R new. So this is rho. L in this case is small l. So this rho is 2 rho, 2 times of rho. So this is 2 rho. And we have L for this wire. L is the same, and diameter of this one is double. If diameter is double, so you have to write on here pi by 4. Diameter is double, so this is 2d square. So if we simplify this one, we will get this is 2 rho L divided by pi by 4, and this is 4d square. 4d square we have here. We can further simplify. We can write down this is rho times L divided by this is pi by 4, and you have d square, and this is multiplied by 4, and you have 2 here. You can place this 2 here. Now we can cancel in this case this 2 with this 4, so you will get 2 here. Now if I rewrite this one, so I will get this is rho times L over 4 over pi by 4. So let me clean this one, pi by 4. So we have here pi by 4. So this one is pi by 4 d square, and you can see we have 1 by 2 here. We have 1 by 2. So this one is here and it is multiplied by 1 by 2. Now if you look at this quantity now, this one, you can compare with this value. These two are the same. It means you can replace this one with R. So this is R by 2. So it means the new resistance is half of original resistance. So this is how you can figure out this type of problems. It's a very nice approach. If you understand this one, next time you can use this one by yourself and you can answer this type of problems. I hope this one is clear to you. Please take screenshot of this and you can save this one. If you have any questions, you can speak out now, or just you can send me message later and you can ask me. Let's move on to next now. Let's move on to next one. This is a very nice question on transport equation. First of all, do by yourself. Try to answer this one first of all by yourself. Okay, try to answer this one first of all by yourself, then I will explain. Always try try to do question first of all by yourself and then look at the solution. Not just look at the solution. That is just like watching movie. Watching movie and studying in class are totally different. After 1 minute I will explain, so please do first of all by yourself. Just few seconds, then I will explain. I will show you the answer and then I will explain. Answer for this question is A. A is the answer. So let me explain to you now why the answer is A. So let's work together and try to figure out answer. For this one, please, you need to understand you have two different wires. We have wire X, this is made of copper, and we have wire Y, this is also made of copper. For wire X, we can draw one small table. So this is for wire X, and here we can draw for wire Y. So we can say wire X and wire Y because we need to compare two wires. So we are writing wire X and wire Y. For wire X, it is given to you the radius is equal to this. So we can say Rx is given. That is equal to 5.0 times 10 to minus 5. I can also write down in this form. I can say that will be equal to 0.5 times 10 to minus 4 meters. So you can write down in this form. Then Ry is given to us. Ry, this is equal to 1.0 times 10 to minus 4 meters. Now you can see in this case Ry is 2 times of Rx. So I can rewrite here that Ry, this is equal to 2 times of Rx. This is one thing. If radius is double, how about cross-sectional area? A is equal to pi times R square. If R is double, so this R is double, so you can rewrite here. So let me use a different way to explain, otherwise this will be a bit confusing for you. Let's say this area is equal to this one, and area, new area, radius is double, so I can say this is 2r square. So in this case you will see this is equal to pi r square times 4. So it simply means that a new, this one will be equal to 4 times of a. So in this case we are talking about ay and this is ax. So it means area of wire y is 4 times greater than area of wire x. So we can rewrite here. We can say area of this wire, let's say, is a. So the area of wire x has to be a by 4. So it's a beautiful way of writing this one when you do comparison. Now next thing, it is given to us that average drift speed in wire x is given. So we can say Vx is given. So we can write down value of this. This is 2.8 times 10 to minus 2 meters per second. For wire y, we need to find out. So we can say this one is Vy. This is what you need to calculate. Now, next thing you need to understand is Q, for example, Q for X, Q for Y is the same because Q is a constant. And these two wires, they are made of the same material. This is made of copper. This is also made of copper. It means N for this one and N for this one is the same. Now, let's go back to transport equation now. Transport. So I will just close this one here in this box. Now, we can go to transport equation. I is equal to NQVA. Now, you need to understand what is the same for X and what is same for Y. Means which quantities are same. In this case, you can also see current is given to us. Let me write down value of I as well. I for wire X is given. This is Ix. So this value is given. That is 3.0 amps. And Iy is given. That is equal to 2 amps. So you can also write down this is equal to 2.0 amp. 2.0 A means 2.0 amps. Now in this case, N is the same. So this quantity is same. This one is the same. So we can rearrange. We can say I over VA. This one is equal to NQ. But NQ is the same for X, same for Y. So we can say this one is equal to some constant. So we can write down equal to some constant. Now simply you have to use Ix over Vx times Ax. This has to be equal to Iy divided by Vy times Ay. For this question, we need to calculate Vy. Question is asking you to calculate Vy. This is what you need to calculate. So we can rewrite Vy. This one will be equal to I times Y, V times X, A times X, and this will be divided by I times X times A times Y. Now simply you need to plug in values. Iy is given. Iy is this value. So this is equal to 2.0 amps. So we can say this one is 2. Vx is given. This is the value of Vx. Vx is 2.8 times 10 to negative 2. So we can write down value of that. Ax is given. That is A by 4. So we can write down this is A by 4. And we need to divide this one by Ix. Ix is given. This value of Ix is given. So you can write down value of Ix. And ay is equal to A. So we can write down A here. We can further simplify. We can say this is 2 times 2.8 times 10 to negative 2 multiplied by A, and this is divided by 3.0 times 4 and times A. So this A we can cancel with this A, and now if we simplify this 2 you can cancel with this 4, so we will get 2 here. Now if you simplify this one, you will get your final answer. That one will be equal to 4.7 times 10 to minus 3. So this one is the final answer. And you need to understand the speed of average drift velocity of electron is very, very slow. If you get very big answer, it means your answer is wrong. So this is how you can find the answer. I hope this one is clear to you. So this is the average drift velocity of electrons in wire Y. So this is how you can calculate. This one you can also write down. This is 2.8 times 10 to minus 2, and this is divided by 6. And then you will get this answer. So this is how you can answer this problem. Very nice question. If you understand this problem, it means a lot of questions about transport equation you can answer. Comparison is very important. Okay, so this is how you can answer this problem. There is another way to answer this problem as well, but at this moment I will not explain you that one. You can just stick with this one because this is a fundamental approach. If this is clear to you, then next time I will explain you another way to answer the same problem. I hope this one is clear to you. If you have any questions, please, you can ask me right now. Otherwise, take screenshot of this one and you can save, and we can go to next. Let's move on to next one because I want to explain you 2 more questions before our class is over. So I will just go to next one now. Look at this question and try to answer. After 1 minute, I will explain. After 1 minute, I will explain. So first of all, please try by yourself. This is also about transport equation, and you have to be very careful with units. You will make mistake with units because these given units, they are not base SI units. You can try for 1 minute, then I will show you the answer and I will explain. Okay, let me explain to you because I want to explain you some important points how to deal with units. Answer for this question is A. Let's try to understand how we can figure out this answer. For this one, first thing you need to understand, I is equal to NQVA. Simply you have to use transport equation. Now we need to understand what we need to find out. We need to find out average drift velocity. It means we need to find out V. So V is equal to I over NQ A. So this is how you can write down. Now simply you need to plug in values. What is value of I? I is given to you this one. So this is not base SI unit. So you have to convert into base SI units. So you can say this is 56 microamps. It means 10 to negative 6 amps. Divided by. Next one is N. This is tricky part, please. Listen carefully. I'm going to explain you one very basic concept. So how we can handle with this now? So first of all, let's try to understand if you have 1 centimeter, this one is equal to 10 to minus 2 meters. If I have 1 centimeter, you see this is power is minus 3. So you will take power here minus 3, and here you will also take power minus 3 here. So you multiply. What we will get here? We will get per centimeter cube, and here you will get 10 to, this also has to be negative. So you will get 10 10 to 6 per cubic meter. Now you can write down this value. So you can write times 10 to 13 times, you see 10 to 6 per centimeter cube. You can replace with 10 to 6 per meter cube. So you will write down this one here. And next one, you need to understand Q. Q is a constant, that is 1.6 times 10 to negative 19. And then we have A. A is given to you is here 1 centimeter square. So first thing you need to understand how to convert this one. 1 centimeter is equal to 10 to minus 2 meters. So we can write down 10 to minus 2 meters here. Now we need centimeter square. So this is square. So you have to take square on both sides. So square on this side, and you also need to take square on this side. So we got 1 centimeter square. This is equal to 10 to minus 4 meter square. So we can replace centimeter square. So we can write on 1.0 times 10 to minus 4, and this is meter square. Now just you need to simplify. The main point you need to understand about this question is this point. This one what you need to understand. And now if you solve this one, your answer will be 0.18 meters per second. And this one is the right answer. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. This is the main concept. This point you need to understand, and this point you need to understand, because these are basic concepts. How to convert units. I hope this one is clear to you. Please take screenshot of this one and you can save this. If you have question, you can ask me right now. Otherwise, we just go to next one, finish one more question, then class will be over. And if you have question later, you can ask me, you can send me message. I will explain you more in detail. So let's move on to next now. I just want to explain you one more question. That question is very nice question. So I just want to explain that before class is over. Okay, please try this question out. This is not straightforward question. You cannot simply use I is equal to NQVA. You have to little bit change that one. So try first of all by yourself. After a few seconds, I will explain. You can read question. You can try to answer. You need to calculate average displacement of free electrons in this case. But in this formula, I is equal to NQVA. You don't see the displacement. So how you will adjust this equation so you can calculate displacement using this one? You have to use this formula, but you have to modify this one. You need to bring some changes to this one. Then you can calculate displacement, but you don't see displacement in this equation. So how we can change so we can calculate displacement? First of all, let me highlight what is given to you. Diameter is given, so we can say D is given to us, and number density is given. So this is number density is given. This Q is given. This is not small q. This is the total charge passing through a point. Okay, in a given time interval, this is the amount of charge that moves through the wire. Total charge is given. We need to calculate average displacement. Now, in order to calculate average displacement, you can change this I. I is equal to Q over T, means the amount of charge. What is current? Amount of charge. Imagine that if I'm looking at this point, the amount of charge passed through this point in a given time, that is current, means Q over T. So we can replace I with Q over T. Here we have, this is NQVA. Now you can multiply with T on both sides. We can say Q, this one will be equal to NQA, and here you have VT. Now you need to understand, if you multiply velocity with time, what we get? Velocity times time, this is the displacement. This one is displacement. So I can say this is S, this one is displacement. So this is the point you need to understand. So how you can modify this one, then you can calculate displacement using this equation. Now we can say Q is equal to NQ A times S. We have to calculate S for this. So we can say this is Q over NQA. Now Q is given to you, that is 0.15. N is given, that is in base SI unit, so 8.5 times 10 to 28. Q is a constant, this is elementary charge, 1.6 times 10 to negative 19. And A is given here, but this is given in meters. So simply you can use this one, pi by 4 D squared. So D is 0.42 times 10 to negative 3 squared. And now if you solve this one, you will get your final answer. So let me show you the answer. Answer for this question has to be C. C is the answer. So if you solve this, you will get this is equal to 8.0 times 10 to negative 5 meters. 10 to negative 5 meters. So this is how you can calculate displacement. Okay, so I hope you have some better understanding of transport equation. We have discussed all possible questions about this one, and I hope you have some better understanding. If you have any questions, please you can send me later and I will explain you more in detail depending on your misunderstandings. That's all for today's class. I'll see you in next class.